For the past 12 years, BIOPAMA has made a lasting impact working to protect biodiversity and support local livelihoods. In this video, we will highlight BIOPAMA's remarkable achievements, developing innovative tools for data and information management, offering services that have boosted knowledge and capacity for planning and decision-making in protected areas, and showcasing how funding opportunities have helped drive site-specific actions and improve the livelihoods of communities that depend on natural resources. Stay with us as we take a closer look at the legacy of BIOPAMA's impactful work in the Caribbean. Jointly implemented by the International Union for Conservation of Nature, the European Commission's Joint Research Center, and the University of the West Indies in the Caribbean, BIOPAMA is wrapping up its work in the Caribbean after 2 successful phases. BIOPAMA has supported Caribbean countries in addressing the key priorities for better management and governance of biodiversity and natural resources. By providing a range of tools, services, and funding, BIOPAMA has empowered conservation efforts across the region, helping to strengthen biodiversity management in 15 countries. The regional observatories for protected areas and biodiversity are the central pillar of BIOPAMA's work. They support data collection, analysis, monitoring and reporting, develop the capacities of staff and organizations to manage this information, and provide policy guidance for better decision-making on biodiversity conservation. Created in 2014 as part of the BIOPAMA program, the Caribbean Protected Areas Gateway, or CPAG, lives by its tagline, linking data to better decisions. CPAG is the Caribbean's central hub for data and information management, using the Regional Reference Information System to drive biodiversity conservation and support the effective management of protected areas.
I would say that in terms of data and information management, policymakers and decision makers have access to increased amounts of data so that they can make more efficient decisions, better policies, and those can be implemented to ensure that the Caribbean does seek long-term sustainability or sustainable use of natural resources as well as long-term conservation.
In 2024, CPAG made a pivotal move transitioning to the Organization of Eastern Caribbean States, or OECS Commission, a partner with strong political support and a central role in convening the 12 Eastern Caribbean states.
From the perspective of the OECS Commission, we do look forward to continuing our partnership with IUCN, with the EU, and with the countries in order to advance or to build on the Caribbean Protected Areas Gateway.
This transition ensures the continued scaling and expansion of CPAG's work and supports BIOPAMA's ongoing investment in technology for biodiversity conservation. Through its capacity development efforts, the BIOPAMA program equips staff in national administrations and conservation actors with the skills to effectively use its innovative tools. These tools drive better informed decisions and are helping to deliver stronger outcomes for biodiversity conservation. A key focus of the program is helping countries leverage the use of the Regional Reference Information System, enabling them to report regularly to international conventions like the Convention on Biological Diversity and contribute to achieving the Sustainable Development Goals. By strengthening capacity in natural resource agencies like forestry, fisheries, and environment departments, as well as non-governmental and community-based organizations, BIOPAMA has enhanced the management of both terrestrial and marine protected areas, supporting more sustainable and impactful conservation efforts.
Coming out of the one of the workshops that was held in St. Lucia, we did an assessment of protected areas management legislation, and we also assessed gaps in protected areas. And one of the glaring gaps was that there was need for an overarching policy in protected areas management in St. Lucia. And in addition to that, we agreed to conduct some of the assessments using the MED tracking tool that was adapted for protected areas in St. Lucia. So we used that tool and we did some assessment. I recall our assessment of the Peters Management Area, which is our World Heritage Site, and the PSEPA. I think the biggest impact is that creation of awareness about the need for greater effectiveness in protected areas management, moving from awareness to actual implementation of that.
BIOPAMA has also been pivotal in building strategic partnerships and strengthening vital networks that will endure, ensuring a brighter and more sustainable future for conservation efforts in the region.
This collaboration of BIOPAMA with Biospace through the OECS is one of the many initiatives that we hope can continue to support our protected and conserved areas in the Caribbean as we move towards improving and enhancing how our natural resources are used.
So BIOPAMA, in my mind, based on the various activities that they had implemented over the years that I was involved in, and even beyond that I've heard of, been very effective. I think they're entrenched themselves in the Caribbean region to the benefit of many young people, my age, up-and-coming conservationists / dive operators / rangers and so on and so forth, who've learned, but we also stay in touch. We have formed a network among ourselves, and so it would not be surprising to me that that will continue in years to come, but we will also at some point be the professionals that are going to teach others and learn. Others will learn from us, but we also learn from those up-and-coming conservationists, marine protected area managers, and so on and so forth.
BIOPAMA's ability to provide essential financial support for vital on-the-ground actions, empowering local communities, and advancing conservation efforts where they're needed the most was a key achievement. The BIOPAMA Action Components offered targeted funding opportunities to address key priorities in sustainable use of biodiversity and natural resources in protected and conserved areas across Africa, Caribbean, and Pacific countries. In the Caribbean alone, 2.7 million euros were invested in 29 projects across 9 countries, benefiting 71 protected and conserved areas and strengthening efforts to manage and protect biodiversity.
So this BIOPAMA grant was the Rapid Response Grant, the RRG, and it came at a very critical time during the COVID pandemic. This grant allowed us to maintain the employment of our security officers to patrol and conduct surveillance of our acreage, which is approximately 1,300 acres. The biggest impact has definitely been that it has allowed us to change our operational model into what we consider to be a sustainable financial model for the long term. In the first instance, it's 10 years. So what we've done is that we've partnered with private sector. We've achieved private sector investment so that for the next 10 years we have guaranteed income. So at the very least, the viability and sustainability of the organization is sort of secured. And now we can actually focus on conducting the work and doing the work of the center, which is conservation, scientific research, environmental education, etc.
We were implementing 2 activities, and one was the training we did for local people and other stakeholders, and the other one was the people we train in beekeeping activity. And I think that was the most standout activity because at the beginning we didn't know that people would be engaged because they were fishermen, and fishermen only want to fish, but because there's almost no fish right now because of the unsustainable fishing practices. So they were very engaged because they know they need to find an alternative livelihood. And right now, I can say the project has a lot of impact because they start to produce some honey they can buy on the local market.
Mi nombre es Karin Aybar y estoy representando a la Fundación Sur Futuro. Pues el fondo que recibimos de BIOPAMA fue para la implementación de un proyecto en el lago Enriquillo, que es el lago más grande del Caribe entero. Es un lago salado y es un punto único de biodiversidad porque contiene la población de cocodrilos de la República Dominicana y contiene también 2 especies de iguana. Todos son especies o altamente vulnerables o amenazadas en este momento. Entonces el proyecto incluyó tanto el monitoreo de esas especies como la integración de las comunidades locales. Que fue importantísimo para nosotros esa experiencia, tanto de la Fundación Su Futuro como creo del Ministerio, de entender la importancia de involucrar a las comunidades y de ese cambio de actitud que fue fundamental para el éxito del proyecto. Ya ellos están viendo que incluso se certificaron muchos jóvenes como guías turísticos y ellos están viendo cómo va incrementando la cantidad de turistas que están visitando la zona. Se duplicó en el primer año y ya en el 4º año íbamos por un aumento de como un 400%. Entonces ya ellos lo están viendo, que sus medios de vida están cambiando, pero que ellos tienen que conservar este recurso para que eso siga incrementándose hacia el futuro.
BIOPAMA not only impacted our organization, which is in the north of the country, but as I am experiencing here in the workshop, it has impacted the whole country. A lot of my colleagues, conservation colleagues, are here, and I can see how they have also been impacted, whether it be in rapid response grants, whether it be in small or medium grants, and they have been doing a lot of the work. So BIOPAMA has really impacted Belize as a whole.
I believe there's a fundamental role that BIOPAMA has played in the Caribbean in enhancing protected area management and knowledge management for decision making. And this also has served as sort of a substrate for the implementation of the targets that all the countries are concerned about. That I would like to recognize that Caribbean countries will be able to report progress on some of the targets thanks to the role that BIOPAMA has played in providing support, either through technical capacity, through the grants, and through the role of CPAG in the decision-making for these protected areas, sites and systems.
The BIOPAMA program is coming to an end, but our legacy continues through the work that we have established, the foundation that we have built, the partnerships that we have nurtured, and we hope that the networking and the community that we have worked with will be strengthened and improved to improve the natural resource management in our region.